Hello, students. Welcome to week 2, chapter 2. Last week, we went over some of the basics of biology and the scientific method. We talked about the kingdoms and domains. Now, we're going to start getting to the more of the meat, more of the heavier concepts of biology. In this class, we're going to start off with the smallest thing and work our way up through the units, through the chapters. In this section, we're going to talk about what's called atoms and their components. Before we do that, though, let's take a step back and talk about what matter is. Matter is any substance that takes up space. So, anything around you, the computer you're on, or cell phone you're on, the tablet you're on, yourself, a table, a desk, the water you drink, the air you breathe, all of that is made up of matter because all of that takes up space. Now, what is matter made up of, though? The smallest particles of matter in its most simplest form. It's called atoms. So atoms are the smallest particles that make up all matter in its simplest form. Atoms cannot be broken down, only in a very, very extreme cases. But in general, they cannot be broken down. Think of atoms either like Legos or like small little beads that individually are the smallest particles. But when they come together, they can form a wide variety of things. Atoms can come together to make oxygen that we breathe, make the water we drink. A lot of atoms can come together to make the technology we use, headphones, cell phones, tablets, computers. And we have trillions on trillions on trillions of atoms that make us up too. All cells are made up of atoms. Now, let's look at what atoms are and what elements are. So again, atoms are the smallest particles that make up matter in its most simplest form. But there are different types of atoms called elements. Elements are pure substances that cannot be broken down by chemical means. So each type element is an atom with a different structure, and we'll go over that structure in a second. Some of y'all might know what the periodic table is. The periodic table is a visualization, organization of all the different atoms, all the different elements, in the world. We have things like hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and so forth. All of these are different types of atoms, atoms with different structure, with different numbers of components. And we'll go over that in a second. But all of these elements are unique. They all have unique properties, and they're all different atoms. They cannot be broken down any further. So atom is more general. Atoms are just the smallest piece of an element. While element is more specific, it's what type of atom it is. Now, to go over what makes elements different, we need to know what the components of an atom is. What the components are, Atoms are composed of 3 subatomic particles. Subatomic particles, think of these as the smaller pieces that make up an atom. And we can kind of see it here, how we have these green balls, these red parts, and these blue rings around the atom that make up an atom. So we've kind of the central location. This is called the nucleus. Similar name as how we talked about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. The nucleus of an atom is kind of the central part. Then we have all these rings around it. Now, the 3 subatomic particles. And for this, I do want you to know what they are, what their charge is, what their mass is, and where they're located. We're going to start with protons. Protons are positive subatomic particles. Notice for the charge, each one is different. Protons are the positive one. Remember, P for positive. They do have a mass, so they do have some type of weight, some type of mass. Their location is in the nucleus. So in here, you can see protons are red. They have a plus for positive. They're in the nucleus. They're in the central location, the center of the atom. In contrast, we have neutrons. Neutrons are neutral. So N for neutral, we have P for positive, N for neutral. Neutrons also have a mass, and they are also located within the nucleus. Neutrons are these green circles. So if we look here, this is our nucleus. So we have the red for protons and the green for neutrons. Notice how protons and neutrons are very, very similar. Both have mass, both are located in the nucleus. The only thing that differs is their charge. Protons P for positive, neutrons N for neutral. The last one, though, is the most different. Electrons. And electrons are going to be very important in the next section. Electrons, excuse me. So we have a subatomic particle that's positive, one that's neutral, and now electrons are negative. Electrons are so small that we say they have no mass at all. Compared to protons and neutrons, they are so small we don't even say they have a mass. They weigh nothing. In addition, their location is different. They are in what's called electron shells or electron clouds. These rings around the nucleus are shells. Each one holds a certain amount of electrons, which are these blue circles. So notice how with an atom, we have a nucleus that's made out of neutrons, the green circles, and protons, the red circles. Both of these have a mass. They differ in charge. Protons positive, neutrons neutral. Outside the nucleus, we have these electron shells or the electron cloud. This is where, like the name suggests, the electrons live, which are these blue circles. Electrons are negative, so the negative charge is on the outside. So, again, class, make sure you know these different subatomic particles, their charge, their mass, and their location.